Virtual reality lets us escape this cruel world, but inside the headset, there's something way darker. This is the ultimate VR iceberg, and you're about to see how deep it goes.
Meta, or Meta Horizon, is this virtual reality Facebook brand. Meta is basically the sole reason why virtual reality is this popular, because Meta has made Meta Quest 2, 3, 3S, and so many other things coming into the future.
J-Man Curly. J-Man Curly is a VR content creator that has 4.2 million subscribers. He is literally the sole reason why most VR games has a very young fan base. Gorilla Tag. Gorilla Tag is this free VR game of literally just being a gorilla and tagging people. And Gorilla Tag probably has the world record of how much children there is every singular day.
Quest 2 and 3. The Quest 2, 3, and 3S are very popular VR headsets. Every single Quest has been produced by Meta, aka Horizon.
Beat Saber. Beat Saber is one of the most popular VR games ever to exist, basically. If you somehow don't know what Beat Saber is this very popular VR rhythm game. All you do in Beat Saber is swing around lightsabers and hit blocks. That's literally all it is. VR Chat.
VR Chat is this very popular social VR game. It's also on PC, but that doesn't really matter.
VR Chat is mostly popular from clips like these.
It's bothering me a lot.
How so?
Because it's irritating my eyes.
VR Chat just seems like a very innocent game, but it's really not. I will be talking about how bad VR Chat is next video. Job Simulator. Job Simulator is this very popular VR game where you just work at a job. I know, scary! All jokes aside, Job Simulator is this single player game where you just work at a job. Nothing really serious. There is also a spin-off of Job Simulator called Vacation Simulator. I'm pretty sure it's basically the same thing, but you do little mini games. Rec Room. Rec Room is probably the most popular social VR game, but right now it's dying like crazy hard. You can play Rec Room on any device, and it sounds like it's sponsored, but it's not. And you can play with friends and a bunch of games. It's kind of fun. I mean, it used to be, but still. Fun fact about this game, Mr. Beast actually collabed with Rec Room a very long time ago, but it was only a one-time thing. Pretty sure it came with a mini game and a bunch of cosmetics, but I think that was only it. Blade and Sorcery. Blade and Sorcery is a medieval VR sandbox game. There's a bunch of different ways you can defeat your enemies in Blade and Sorcery. You can defeat them with your own hands, you can defeat them with a bow and arrow, you can defeat them with only an arrow. There's a bunch of different ways. Fun fact about this game got VR Game of the Year back in 2024, which is actually crazy. This game actually used to be in beta, but now it doesn't update anymore, and they're only going to do bug fixes from now on. PBVV. PBVV is one of the first ever Gorilla Tag ghosts. If you don't know what a Gorilla Tag ghost is, just stay tuned, I will tell you in the next layer. PBVV was a very, very crazy guy, bro. He used to do a lot of things like banning people or kicking people out of Gorilla Tag, or even spawning a bunch of Gorilla Tag avatars all at once like crazy. I think I can find a screenshot of it. He was a salmon color, and he used to walk around the Red Bridge, if I can find a picture of that as well. This guy was very scary. It scared a lot of children. It was really funny back then. Ghost of Tabor. Ghost of Tabor is literally just like Escape from Tarkov, but in VR. There's a bunch of things that you can do in this game. You can collect a bunch of tangerines. Yes, people do that for some reason. You can have the best loot in the game. You can kill bosses. There's a lot of things that you can do in this game. Yes, there is bosses. Pavlov and Pavlov Shack. Pavlov has two versions. Pavlov, which is PC VR and PS VR, and Pavlov Shack. Pavlov Shack is Quest 2, 3S, and 3, and so on. Pavlov is very well known of their S&D mode and their TTT mode. Pavlov has built-in mods, which is really cool because they have modded game modes, maps, weapons, and so on. They also have weapon skins, but most of them don't really look good in my opinion. Pavlov is also well known of their community. Their community is really, really bad, but I will be talking about that later. The meta change. Before it was called Meta, it used to be called Oculus. I don't know why they changed this, but I think it might be because of marketing and stuff. But I really loved the old look of the Oculus logo over the Meta logo. It looks weird to me. I heard that they might change their logo again to the Meta Horizon logo, which is this. Scary, right? Orion Drift. Orion Drift is made by the same guys that made Gorilla Tag, but for some reason they kept the same movement, which is really odd. Orion Drift is basically Gorilla Tag and Rocket League if they had a baby. Yeah, that's how bad it is. Hand tracking. Hand tracking is, instead of using your regular old controllers, you use your hands for controllers. If I'm correct, only the Quest 2, 3, and 3S are the only ones that have hand tracking. Mixed reality. Mixed reality is you're playing a game, but you can see through your pass-through, if that makes sense. For example, imagine I'm playing Blade and Sorcery, but you don't see the map, and it's actually just my room that I'm playing in. That's basically what mixed reality is. Bone Lab. Bone Lab is this physics-based sandbox VR game. There's a lot of things you can do in this game, a lot of stuff. There's also built-in mods, but people really hate the modding community because of how bad most of the mods are. Gorilla Tag Ghosts. A Gorilla Tag Ghost is literally just hackers most of the time. Gorilla Tag Ghost is basically just a creepypasta of Gorilla Tag, but most of the time they are literally just hackers. For example, PBVV, we were just talking about him. So yeah, all it is just a creepypasta, and people actually think these are real ghosts, like dead people, but they are literally just hackers. Beyond Sandbox. Beyond Sandbox is a very, very realistic VR game. As I'm recording this is not out yet, but people really, really want to see this game. Me, myself, has made 3 or 4 videos of Beyond Sandbox so far, as I'm recording this, of course. There's a bunch of things you can do in Beyond Sandbox that we know of, like breaking bones, snapping necks, blood dripping, blood splatter. There's a lot of things. Heck, I made a video of what we're gonna see in Beyond Sandbox, if you want to check that out. Side Quest. Side Quest is basically a more darker version of the Meta Store. It's games that are not basically allowed on the Meta Store, or it's really hard to get on the Meta Store. Side Quest had a bunch of popular titles, like Pavlov Shack, Gorilla Tag, and way more other popular titles. App Lab.
App Lab was basically a group of early access games. It's very similar to SideQuest. It's basically another side of SideQuest. It was just a bunch of early access games, nothing that crazy.
Ghost of the Boar mod map. The Ghost of the Boar mod map has been seen in a bunch of their videos. What the mod map is just every single item, including NPCs, in a singular map. I don't know if I can find a screenshot of it. If I can, here's a picture of it. Gorilla Tag Clans. A Gorilla Tag clan is a group of people that play Gorilla Tag and that are really good at the game. And if it's a big Gorilla Tag clan, there can be tournaments where you can actually win money if you win. Nothing that crazy, it's really just a group of people that play Gorilla Tag. Mirror Addiction. The term mirror addiction is basically originated by VR chat or Rec Room. Mirror addiction is when someone is addicted by standing in the mirror or sitting down in the mirror or laying down the mirror. It's very common to find in games like VR chat or Rec Room, but you can also find them in sometimes Gorilla Tag. And you would think this isn't really that bad, but sometimes they would literally sit there for hours upon end, sometimes days. Sometimes they will be with a cuddle buddy, aka like their girlfriend or their boyfriend. 2018 to 2021 VR.
2018 to 2020 VR is basically the golden age of VR. Everyone was really nice, you can do whatever you wanted, and VR games were actually really fun. Man, I really miss those days of VR.
Lava Gang. Lava Gang is what Stress Level 0, aka the people that made Boneworks and Bone Lab, they call the modding community of Bone Lab Lava Gang.
People used to think that Lava Gang was like a big thing. It was like part of the lore and stuff, but no, it's really not. It's just a group of modders. Minecraft VR. Minecraft VR is, well, you guessed it, Minecraft in VR. I remember a Quest version of this. It was on SideQuest. I think it was called QuestCraft, but I think it doesn't work anymore, and Minecraft VR will not update ever again, according to Mojang. Full body tracking. Full body tracking is when you can use your entire body in VR. So instead of only using your controllers in the headset, you can use your entire body, like your feet, your elbows, your neck, like literally everything. If I'm correct, this is an only PC VR exclusive. Before I continue the video, I just want to let you know around 95% of you guys are not subscribed, so it would really help a lot if you subscribe. VR Chat 18+ Worlds. VR Chat has a very weird history of very adult things on this rated teen app. Most VR Chat 18+ Worlds are bars, adult hangouts, and so many other bad things that I'll be talking about later. Rec Room accounts randomly deleting. There's been rumors that Rec Room just bans random accounts that's been inactive for too long. Once again, this is just a rumor, and me myself, I haven't played Rec Room in a couple months, and nothing really happened. So this might be just a rumor, but just in case, I recommend just hopping on Rec Room here now and then. Gorilla Tag mod menus. A Gorilla Tag mod menu is just a menu of mods. Mod menus are obviously banned in Gorilla Tag, and you can partially get banned for using mods in public servers. Yes, you can do them in privates. It is really easy to find a modder or a hacker. All you gotta do is just go to the code mod or modder. Phantom Sense and Phantom Pain. Phantom Sense is very popular in Rec Room and mostly VR Chat. What Phantom Sense is when if you stay in VR long enough, you will literally be able to feel things in VR without any haptic suits. Phantom Pain is basically the same thing, but you feel pain instead of senses. Null. There's two things that's very known for of the word null. The first thing is the most popular, which is Null is a name of a Gorilla Tag ghost in, of course, Gorilla Tag. And the second thing is Null was very popular in most multiplayer VR games, because back then, if your username was glitched, it would just say Null instead of just player blah 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 or Gorilla blah blah blah. Pavlov was very known for this null glitch, like they literally didn't patch this glitch until last update. Quest 2 overheating. The Quest 2 is very known for with very bad technical issues, especially overheating issues. Your Quest 2 overheating is very common, but it can lead to a bunch of side effects. Like the most dangerous thing is your entire Quest 2 factory resetting. That and your Quest 2, melting from the heat, but that's literally only happened like 10 times or so. Side effects are a bunch of things, like struggling charging, having struggle with storage, games not loading as much, and so many other things that I will list on the screen right now. The Pavlov community. In my opinion, the Pavlov community is one of the worst VR communities ever to exist. If you don't know how bad a Pavlov community is, I'm talking about like OG COD lobbies basically. I could probably speedrun me trying to find a racist person in Pavlov. Pavlov is very known of their very racist community and all of the homophobia and so many other things. It's basically impossible trying to be family friendly on Pavlov, and if you are, you're gonna have to censor so much stuff. The Quest 2 factory reset glitch. The Quest 2 factory reset glitch, or very known for of the black screen of death, is something that really happens very commonly with the Quest 2. Well, what happens is you literally cannot turn on your VR. And the only way to fix it is factory resetting your entire Quest 2. This happened to me twice in a row. It's one of the worst things that you can experience as a Quest 2 user. The only way to prevent this is play on your Quest 2 way less. Hidden Bone Lab rooms. There's a bunch of hidden rooms in Bone Lab. To get in one of these hidden rooms, you're gonna have to find a key card. Rumor has it, there's probably still some hidden rooms that we haven't discovered yet. The Forbidden One. The Forbidden One is a very big person in the Rec Room lore. The Forbidden One all started because some guy reported a glitch and thought it was a creepypasta on Reddit. And because it's Reddit, people started calling it the Forbidden One and started making up stories for them. This entire topic back then was so popular that actually Rec Room started doing little scavenging hunts in the rec center because of this. Heck, there was an entire event based off of the Forbidden One. I even have a bubbly of one of them.
VRChat EDPs. VRChat is really well known because of their very sexual community. Pet is very popular in VRChat. Heck, there's a bunch of groups of grooming. This has been so popular, in fact, there's been actual crimes and cases of VRChat pedophiles. I literally know people that have been groomed on VRChat. And VRChat just lets it happen. Like, I'm being so for real. They just let it happen. VRChat pedophilia is one of the most main things that VRChat should really do, and they just don't do anything about it. Bone Lab is a loop. In the Bone Lab lore, there's this theory of Bone Lab being a loop. The reason why people think this is because at the end of the campaign, you go right back to where you started, making it look like it's a simulation, aka a loop. Speaking of simulations,
Bone Lab and Boneworks are simulations. The reason why people think Bone Lab and Boneworks are simulations is because every time you die, you just go back to where you started. The reason why I know this is because in Bone Lab, you were just escaping the VR world and trying to go back to real life. In Boneworks, I think it's the same, but I've never played the game before, so... VRChat Gore Worlds. People in VRChat love trolling. So much, in fact, they love pushing the limits. That's why they made Gore Worlds, so they can scare children to get a good reaction out of them. That's just a theory, but literally I have no idea why people make these worlds, but I've encountered so many Gore Worlds, it's crazy. And when I say gore, I actually mean real-life dead bodies. Quest 2 Dev Kit. If you don't know what a dev kit is, it's just a very beta version of a console. The Quest 2 dev kit looked like this. Way different from the current Quest 2, right? Loading screen soft lock. VR has had this very bad problem of soft locking and loading screen. I'd say this is like a monthly thing that happens to me. It usually happens to very old games like Pavlov, Rec Room, Gorilla Tag, and other things like that. And if you haven't encountered this bug, and if you have, don't worry, it's nothing really bad, it just soft locks your entire loading screen. Bone Lab AI posters. Bone Lab has a bunch of AI posters. If I'm correct, every single poster in Bone Lab is either made by a professional artist, or they're just made out of AI. If I'm correct, most of these posters are made with AI, since AI was really popular when Bone Lab came out.